Most people don't pay attention to the money supply. And when I say most people, that includes the Federal Reserve. We've only witnessed that 4 times in the United States since the Fed, the central bank, has been in place since 1913.
Picture this. You're walking down a bustling street, watching people stop for their morning coffee, swipe their cards for a quick snack, or buy that new gadget they've been eyeing. From the outside, it all looks perfectly normal. They seem confident, secure, and stable. But what if I told you that behind the surface, there's a hidden struggle? For most of these people, just like millions of others around the world, the truth is much darker. Beneath the routine purchases and everyday decisions, they're facing a financial crisis far worse than anyone realizes. It's a crisis you don't see on their faces, but it's one that lives quietly in their bank accounts, credit card statements, and overdue bills. How can someone appear financially stable while silently drowning in debt? You might think it's just a matter of overspending, but the truth goes much deeper than that. There's something psychological, something ingrained in how we think about money that keeps people stuck in this financial quicksand. And it's affecting more people than you might imagine.
Most people don't pay attention to the money supply. And when I say most people, that includes the Federal Reserve. They have discarded the quantity theory of money. The stock of money in the United States, broadly measured by M2.
We're diving into the truth behind why the average person's finances are in much worse shape than you thought. What are the real reasons behind this crisis? And more importantly, could it be happening to you too? The perfect illusion. Let's start with something uncomfortable. Most people project an image of financial success, but in reality, it's often just that, an image. The truth behind the smile is sobering. Studies show that 40% of Americans can't cover an unexpected $400 expense without going into debt. Just one car repair or one medical bill can push them over the edge. What's even scarier? Most people don't even realize how deep they're already in the financial hole. But why do we spend money we don't have? It's more than just materialism. In today's world, social media is a huge part of the problem, fueling the constant desire to keep up appearances. Psychologists call this social comparison theory, the instinct to measure our success against others. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok are perfect for this. They're not just showing you other people's lives, they're feeding the illusion that everyone else has it better, that everyone else is more financially secure. We're hardwired to want what others have. It's called relative deprivation, the feeling that you're worse off when you perceive others as being better off. So even if someone is doing all right financially, they might still overspend because they see their peers living what looks like a better life. A study from Cornell University found that people are more likely to splurge on luxury items after seeing photos of friends enjoying lavish lifestyles. It's not just envy, it's a psychological trap. This cycle creates a disconnect between what we really need and what we think we need to fit in. The average person doesn't just buy things, they're buying into an identity, into an illusion. But the cost of maintaining that illusion, it's slowly destroying their financial health. The silent debt trap, debt credit cards, student loans, car payments, it's everywhere, and it's a silent killer. Right now, the average American household owes over $90,000 in debt. And it's not just young people, boomers and retirees are getting caught in this trap too. With every swipe of the card, every small loan, the debt quietly accumulates. And here's the scary part, it's designed that way.
Oh, the day the sheriff came, the neighborhood wasn't awake yet. He pulled up out front in the big blue wagon regarding your mortgage. So we signed. I was besides myself. I cried.
Credit card companies know exactly what they're doing. They rely on a psychological phenomenon called anchoring bias. This happens when people base their decisions on the first piece of information they receive. In the case of credit cards, people focus on the minimum payment amount instead of the total debt. It seems manageable, so they pay just enough to avoid penalties, but they don't realize they're keeping themselves in debt for years. In the US, Australia, Spain, and Mexico, around 70% of adults said they were very or somewhat stressed about money. The percentage reduced slightly to 63% in the UK, 57% in Germany, 55% in Switzerland, and roughly half of people in Singapore and France. According to the Federal Reserve, nearly 50% of credit card holders carry a balance every single month. And it's not just the poor. Even high-income earners are falling into this trap. Credit card debt grows silently, and most don't even realize how much interest they're paying until it's too late. By the time most people recognize the severity of their debt, they're already drowning. And this debt isn't just a number on a statement, it has profound effects on a person's mental health. The ripple effect on mental health financial stress is more than just a headache, it's a full-blown mental health crisis. According to a study published by Psychology Today, people who experience financial insecurity are 3 times more likely to suffer from depression and anxiety. The constant worry about paying bills, avoiding debt collectors, and handling emergencies becomes a never-ending source of mental exhaustion. It's what psychologists call decision fatigue. When you're under constant financial stress, your ability to make sound decisions deteriorates. You become more prone to impulsive spending, neglecting bills, and making poor financial choices that only dig you deeper into the hole. And the longer this cycle continues, the harder it becomes to break free. Real-time financial data and trends. Now, let's take a look at the hard numbers. According to recent data from the New York Times, household savings rates are at historic lows, with many people barely managing to save 2 to 3% of their income. Factor in inflation, skyrocketing rents, and the rising cost of living, and it's no wonder that most people are struggling just to get by. In fact, a report from CNBC revealed that nearly 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And this isn't just happening to low-income households, it's happening to the middle class too. The financial instability people are facing today means fewer are prepared for emergencies, retirement, or even everyday expenses. The picture is grim. People are living on the edge, but the worst part? Most of them don't even realize how bad things have gotten until it's already too late. Breaking the cycle. So, how do we break the cycle? The first and most important step is awareness. People need to understand the psychological traps they've fallen into and take proactive steps to escape the spiral of debt and financial insecurity. Creating a budget, prioritizing savings, and cutting unnecessary expenses are just the beginning. But it's also about learning, understanding money management, debt reduction, and even smart investing. At the end of the day, financial security isn't just about how much you earn, it's about how much you save and how wisely you spend. The reality is, the average person's finances are in far worse shape than they think, but it doesn't have to stay that way. The journey to financial freedom starts with recognizing the traps we've fallen into and finding the way out. Now that you know the truth about the financial traps so many of us fall into, it's time to take action. Don't wait until it's too late. Start by taking small steps, set a budget, cut unnecessary expenses, and prioritize saving. Educate yourself on smart financial habits. Remember, financial freedom isn't just a dream, it's a choice you can make today. Take control of your future because your financial health is worth fighting for.